So the quickest way to determine whether there's public support or not is do a referendum. Let the voters speak. If they're for it, they'll say yes. If they're not, then they'll say no. And you can't really argue with that. There's either support for it or there's
A
not.
non-referendum?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So this is kind of hand in hand with that. How does it affect you, like just like looking at things through the full lens of stuff? Because a lot of these, and I'm bringing it up again, a lot of these issues aren't in your ward. So you're
True.
voting for things that aren't in your ward. Is there any part of you that does that kind of like get to you at all, where it's like, man, like I want to do what the people say, but also I have the logical side of things, I have the emotional side of things. And so how you're voting, like how when you make a decision on how you're going to vote on things that don't go on in your ward, I think this is a better way of wording it.
Yeah. That's a great question.
What route do you take to make the decision that you best think, behind your vote?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I look to is like, one, is this beneficial to the people that I represent? Because ultimately I'm elected by a certain group of people. I need to support the group of people which is all citizens of Ward 4 specifically. Yeah. But if I've got another elected representative that's elected the same way that I am, that's supportive of something in their district, then of course I'm going to try to figure out a way to support that. Because ultimately they have to answer to the people that are voting for them and that they're elected to serve. And so that carries a lot of weight. And so that specific project is widely supported in the ward that I represent. And it's and from what I've seen, the elected leader of that ward supports it, as well as a substantial amount of people in that ward. And I think the referendum is really going to show, either people support it or they don't, and that they care enough to come out and vote for it. Because, in municipal elections, voter turnout's always low. So if you care enough to show up and vote, then I'm going to care enough to listen.